If you need tons of cheap traffic, native ads with traffic sources like Taboola and Outbrain might be interesting for your offer to make more money, to make more revenue. And in this video, we will speak about how to get this crazy cheap traffic. Hi everyone, my name is Marcel Sattler. I'm the founder of Purple Black, a native advertising only agency. What we're doing on a daily basis is we run profitable performance marketing campaigns on native advertising traffic sources like Taboola, Outbrain, Gemini, and many, many more. And as you can hear, I have an agency about native ads. So I'm pro native advertising. I'm pretty sure there are many, many opinions out there, but I'm a fan of native ads. I'm a huge fan of native ads. I like to see how brands, affiliates, and people are getting more successful, making more money thanks to native ads. And therefore, this video is my honest opinion, but of course it's not neutral. I'm looking for a more pro native ads perspective on it, even though I will also face some negative parts of native ads. No worries about that. So when we speak about native ads, we speak about paid traffic. I know there are tons of different traffic types out there, like organic traffic or paid traffic, but here in this video, we will just speak about paid traffic. Just a little disclaimer here. If you have a good offer, like a good valid offer, a good landing page, you have everything designed and everything is done, and now you just wait for traffic. So sometimes if you're not selling enough, there is one problem, which is called traffic. It's not a conversion rate or so. Sometimes it's that easy. It's just the traffic which is missing. And native ads might be a good chance to buy more traffic. So when we speak about the different traffic kinds and different traffic sources out there, then we have traffic sources like, for example, Google. And here I speak about Google search. There are different Google search, or there are different kinds of Google ads, like YouTube is a part of Google ads, or also display is a kind of Google ads. But here we are speaking about Google search because it's a bit easier to understand. Then you have Meta with traffic source or with apps like, for example, Instagram or Facebook itself. And then you have native at the end here. And with native, you have traffic sources like Taboola, Outbrain, MJD, Ref Content, and so on and so forth. So here with Google and Meta, you have a brand behind of the name itself. And here with native, you have more open system, which means that behind of native ads, which is like a general term, you have different traffic sources like, as mentioned already, Taboola, Outbrain, Gemini, and many, many more. And when it comes to price perspective, Google search ads are the most expensive here. And the reason for that is super simple, because people are searching for something very specific. And the more specific the search request is, the more expensive usually the CPC, the cost per click, is. And obviously because you have a different intention of a buying process. When we speak about online marketing, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the idea of a funnel. And if we speak about Google search ads, people are usually here in a very aware status, like in a ready to buy status. In general, that's why Google ads, like a CPC ad, is more expensive. And on the negative hand side also, it's not crazy scalable. So you need an audience which is already aware and which is looking for a solution for their problem. On the other hand side, you have Meta with Instagram and Facebook, which is also mid-level from the price segment. The big benefit of Meta is you can reach people or prospects which are hot. You can reach people and prospects that are warm, and a completely cold and broad audience. But on average, we speak here about a mid-price segment. And the big benefit here is obviously that Meta has a very smart algorithm, which can help you to reach your goals faster. So I would put it here in the middle of the funnel. And last but not least, we have native, which is definitely the cheapest one here. And the reason is simple. You shoot out with a very broad approach on a traffic source, and people are not aware at all. You don't have any interest-based targeting, which is working properly. So you are reaching out for a completely cold audience. And therefore, it's important to understand that if you run, or if you want to run something successfully on native, the offer must be cold friendly. So it must be friendly for a cold audience. That means if it's something very specific, let's say for example in B2B offer is nothing very broad. You need somebody who is owner of a business, who might be interested in your service. So you need a bunch of things which are required that this person is a good fit for your offer. And that means it's not a good fit for native. Imagine, you're going out of your house and you have 100 people there. Your offer must be relevant for the majority of people out there. If it's just relevant for 0.3 people out of those 100, then native ads is definitely not a good fit. So yes, the traffic is cheap, but you also need a cold, audience-friendly offer. But let's dig a bit deeper into native traffic. I've mentioned already there are different platforms about native advertising. There are the big major platforms like Taboola and Outbrain. There are some smaller ones like MJD and Ref Content and all the other ones. So there are a bunch of different, there is variety. So you're not stick to one platform, which is a huge benefit. On the other hand side, it's also a bit more complicated because every platform is working a bit differently. So there is no point to master them all, but if you want to master all of them, it's a bit tricky and technically difficult. But no worries, if you just want to start, I would recommend you to go with one of the big major traffic sources like Taboola or Outbrain. But also here on the traffic sources, you have different kinds of traffic when you speak about native traffic. And you have it like this usually sorted. You have the premium traffic, but also when you speak about native, you have different kinds of different categories of traffic. Let me explain it a bit more in detail. You have here the premium traffic, which are all the good sites like MSN, like the AAA players. And here the majority of people want to run. Then you have the mid segment, which are some niche blogs or some smaller pages, which is more or less the standard inventory. And last but not least, you have the push traffic. And also from a price perspective, push is the cheapest one. Here the medium or the standard inventory is in a mid price segment, and the premium traffic is the most expensive one when it comes to native ads. Let me start here with push and let me explain what push traffic is in detail. So push traffic is something the majority of people want to avoid because it's not converting that well. So push traffic is if you start an app, if you play a free game on your smartphone and you want to continue playing, sometimes there's like a pop-up where it's like, okay, click here or watch a 30 seconds video in order to continue your game. And the majority of people, they're clicking and then they're coming to a site, maybe to your site, but people don't want to be on that site, they just click there in order to continue playing. And this traffic is cheap, this traffic has a high CTR, a high click-through rate, but this traffic is usually not converting for the majority of offers, and therefore the majority of marketers want to avoid exactly that traffic. And if you, for example, run Taboola Ads and you start with a self-service account, you will see this push traffic and it will usually destroy your campaign from the very beginning. So therefore my recommendation is always to start with a managed account. Just reach out to the guys from Taboola Outbrain and tell them you don't want to run on push traffic in order to start with a good or in order to have a good and clean start and not mess up your campaign with the cheap traffic which is not converting. So usually this is something you want to avoid. Be aware of it. You have to set it up manually. It's not working automatically and you cannot do it by yourself. The standard inventory, these are like normal pages. These are smaller blogs, smaller niche sites, but also more mid-size traffic sites here, and it's a more mid-sized inventory. So here it's definitely good to run, and also of course on AAA players. You have to check or you have to test it out what makes more sense for your offer or service to run there. I mean, you're watching a video about traffic, about paid traffic, so I'm pretty sure you want to know how much is native advertising traffic. And unfortunately, I cannot give you here a specific number. And let me explain you why. Because it depends on many factors. You can buy traffic somewhere for 0.5 cents and you can buy traffic for €8 per click. It's a range from two. It's a very huge range. It depends on the country. It depends on blah, 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 blah. Long story short, usually native advertising traffic, if you see this marketing mix here, then native traffic is the cheapest one. If you compare it with other traffic sources, like for example Google, search ads or also meta ads. Now you might think, okay, it sounds awesome, but there is not just positive things about native ads, there are some negative aspects. You must have a cold audience friendly offer. So if it's a very specific offer or a B2B offer, it's usually not working with native ads. And on the other hand side, even though the traffic itself is cheap, the setup is expensive. At least it's time consuming if you don't hire somebody to do it for you. And why it's time consuming? Because you don't have all these smart algorithms. You don't have all these automatic tech managers which are doing the setup more or less completely by themselves. So you have to know on the one hand side the technical things to ensure a proper tracking, and on the other hand side, if you run the campaigns, you also need a marketing knowledge to run the campaigns also properly. So it is time consuming, which is definitely a negative aspect, and there's not so much legit information available here on the internet. But the good news is, here you are on my YouTube channel, and we have the largest YouTube channel about native ads. So feel free to check out the other videos here on YouTube. They're completely for free, and we have a bunch of videos here about nothing but native. So as a conclusion, we can say native advertising traffic might be worth it for you to give it a try if you have a very broad offer, and if you need traffic, if you need cheap traffic, and if the rest is already done, like you have an offer which you think it's working, or which you have tested already with other traffic sources, and now you want to scale it, then native ads might be a good way to go. I hope you liked that video. If so, I would extremely appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, and of course when you subscribe to my channel and activate the bell to receive an update when I upload a new video about native ads here on YouTube. Have a good one. See you next time.